Noctronic here, and it's spring, kind of. It's slush. It's slush season. That's what I call it. It's slush season. It's technically spring, so doesn't matter. The snow's melting, and it's time to talk about Project Solar Eclipse. I said the project was gonna start in spring, summer-ish time, and so it is like really cold. And we're gonna talk about the list of things that are gonna be done with the eclipse, going from the first thing to probably the last thing. And then I'll give you like a tally number of like the cost that's gonna be around there. So the project's gonna be like going, and then it might stop a little bit so I can work and make some money again and stuff like that. The first thing that's gonna be worked on with the car is the rod knock. I'll just have a clip of it here.
Not supposed to be making that noise.
So yeah, that's pretty bad, and I didn't know that it was a rod right away. I was talking to some guys and they were telling me that's probably what it was. So I need my list. Okay, so I made a list. Yeah, I made a list, obviously. Alright, so one of the things we're gonna get is that I'm gonna get a gasket kit. So it's gonna come with like every gasket for the engine, and then it'll come with some valves, or I can get a gasket and valve separately. I'm like, sure, it's so cold. And with that, I'm gonna get a valve adjuster, guide, lifter, exhaust intake seat, and stem seal. And so that's just one for each. That way, because I'm pretty sure it's only one valve that's making the ticking noise. So that's going to be done first, and then as I take the heads off and stuff, I'm going to take the, so then with the valve springs, I did find some sports springs, but I don't know like the package information, like how many they're going to be, how many valves are going to come with the package and stuff like that, so that's going to have to wait. So for just getting the car started with the gaskets, the spark plugs, the valve stuff is going to come around to about $265. So that's something that I'm going to start on right when like the snow's done melting, because I got to go clean out the garage because it's kind of a pigsty right now. So after the car is like fixed and it's running, it's so cold. I need a coat. Alright, so after the car is like running and I can drive it on a daily basis, that's when things are gonna get a bit funner. And the first thing I have on here is premium sway bars. So I did do a sway bar, premium sway bar on the Gallant, that's right over here. I did have a video of it. It was more like a tutorial-y video that didn't do too well. So this is definitely not going to be like tutorials on like each extra bolt it's going to take out. It's going to go a little bit faster, more like a vloggy type thing. And so yeah, so all four sway bars are going to be changed to stiffer sports ones with the special joints on them. After that are going to be like the headlight conversion. Oh my gosh. The next thing after that will be the headlights. I'm going to change these headlights because that one over there has got like chipping on the inside of like the paint. And there's like water that got into this one, but I drained it out on a different video that you guys haven't seen. never see. So then there'll be the headlights, and then after that, I'm thinking about changing the brake rotors in here because the rotors are extremely rusted. And I know, like, people are gonna be commenting like, well, you could just drive away a little bit and then just brake and clean them off. The car hasn't been driven for about 3 years now. The farthest I've driven it is about a mile, and that's just driving circles in my grandma's yard and getting it on the trailer. So it's kind of like, So I think I just want to get newer brakes just so I can get newer brakes, and for the fun of it, and because they're rusted. So that's that. After that, I'm thinking about putting in some racing sports coilovers, and I was able to find some coilovers by Godspeed Motorsport, the Mono SS coilover. So those are gonna be like actual like sports racing type coilovers, where I can adjust the stiffness and the dampening of the shock, and that'll be good for like rally and drifting and whatnot. Because one of the things I want to try doing with this car is making it the first, like, well, maybe the second front wheel drive driftable car. And I know people are saying like, you can't drift a front wheel drive because, you know, a bunch of different stuff, like the power comes from the rear tires, that's how you get going. Well, there's actually a video, a couple videos of guys who have been experimenting with front wheel drive drifting.
取りは塔やデフなどでやりやすいようにセッティングするのではなく、あくまでも腕で振り回すのが基本。同乗させてもらった編集長曰く、床が抜けるほど踏み込むアクセルにまずびっくりし、 WRC ドライバーも真っ青の素早いハンドリングでまたまたびっくりだとか。S 字も決まってフルターンはこれは仕方ない。でもって最終コーナーは
さっきねちょっと話したらね、いや新入 FR と一緒なんですよってそうなんだろうけど、そっから先がねわかんない。
The handbrake again to keep it sliding, and just do that as far as you need to go until it goes all the way around the corner. A lot of people seem to comment on videos and stuff and go, oh, it's not real drifting because you can't like drift around a roundabout, round and round and round. There's no reason you can't. You just keep going, keep your foot in it. Handbrake is necessary, it'll just go around as many laps as you want until the tires burst. The other thing is, stabbing the handbrake like this instead of just pulling and holding it, it doesn't make flat spots and it doesn't do anything bad.
And because I don't have a rear wheel drive at the moment, I know a lot of people say, oh, go get an MX-5, stuff like that, but where I live, cars like that are pretty rare. You only find cars like that every like once in a while, and usually they go for about 5,000 or more because of the whole, it's a drift car thing, it's a drift tax, that's what's called, drift tax. The drift tax of the car is getting higher and higher by each year. So I want to either get this car to be kind of like a drifty car and then sell it and then buy a newer car. The goal is to get an RX-7 FD, but I don't know how realistic that is. So getting back to the list, coilovers will be a must for this car. Also after that, if we have like extra money or whatever, I'm thinking of doing a cat back exhaust. So if you know what a catalytic converter is, the exhaust is going to go from there to the back. So that's something I might try to do just as like an extra thing. And then I want to put in racing seats, or just at least one racing seat. And that might seem kind of like a ricey thing to do, but I do want to have one racing seat because this car isn't just going to be like a daily driver. You know, I want to take it to like an autocross event, stuff like that. Possibly a drift event, except it would be by myself, obviously. and stuff like that. So there's going to be that. And then with the racing seat, there's going to be a with the racing seat, there's going to be a harness system. And I was just doing a bunch of research about it today, and the thing with the harness system is you technically have to have a roll cage in it, and I do want to put in a roll cage in this car at some point, because the head clearance to this front bar right here is so low that if you got in a rollover or something, not saying I would, but just in case, to safety first, I would want something in here to keep the hood from collapsing, since I've only got that much headroom for the car. So that might be something. I also looked up that you can get a, I can't remember what it's called, it's like a harness, I don't know, I'll have a picture of it or something. It's like a harness bar, that's what it is. The harness bar, what that harness bar does is it's kind of like cheating. What it is it will bolt on to where your seatbelt thing goes, your seatbelt main piece on the top, and it kind of arches down, and then you hook your harnesses onto there. So that might be whatever the word is. That's gonna be just there for a little bit, or I might install a roll cage, and that'll be the last thing we do, putting in the seats and stuff. That's kind of the overall scheme of that. So everything that I've talked about, that total is going to be about $1,551. Everything in total that's on this list is $1,816. So whether that's all done this year or into the fall or something, I don't think I'm gonna get all of this done in 1 year. I think there's gonna be other things to do with the Eclipse, such as I'm probably not gonna put racing seats in right away, or a catback exhaust. That might be a year 2 or a winter special kind of thing if we have a garage that can do that in. So the little things that are gonna be in this car is a paint job maybe. There's the paints really just kind of wearing down, on the hood. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the hood here, the clear coat is starting to peel off, and so with the roof is clear coats peeling off. I'm not sure why that is. It's like a Mitsubishi thing. Even our Galant is having clear coat problems. I mean, it is a 2003, 2001, so, So paint is one thing. The door on the side, I don't know what happened to that, but when we bought it, I'm gonna put this away. So when we bought the car, this dent right here was already there and stuff. That wasn't any of us. And so this is gonna have to get sanded off and then repainted. So if we repaint the whole door, then the rest of the car is gonna have to be painted because of the whole switch thing. And then we've got another line here, and this is all this right here is dented inward. It's probably kind of hard to tell on the camera, but that's all dented inward. And then this is the worst part down here. All this is dented inward, and there's no side skirt here. So I'm trying to find a side skirt for this, but I just haven't been able to find any. And if I do, it's super overly priced, $100 overly priced. And so $100 is the worth of the front bumper. The front bumper is 100, 200-ish. So 100, 150 just for a side skirt seems kind of ridiculous to me. So this is all gonna be bent out. And one thing too is if I open the door here, you can kind of see it comes in right here a little bit. So we're gonna have to get under the car and then push that all out. And thankfully this isn't on the door trim, because the door trim is right here, and then the impact is right below it. So we kind of got saved there. So the door's been bent up and all that, so all that rest is gonna have to be cleaned off and all that good stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be a big thing. This will be after the car is running, because this is a cosmetic thing, but somewhere working on the engine, I'm probably just gonna sand all of this and then just put a clear coat, not a clear coat, but a rust protectant. So then the whole door is going to have to be, or the door and this chassis back here is going to have to be completely repainted. So the whole car is going to have to be repainted. Same thing with the rear bumper. This paint's kind of just failing. I assume that this rear bumper had already been like replaced by somebody, probably the previous owner or the guy before him, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like peeling off. Like, it's kind of hard now because it's really cold out, but like right here, it just kind of peels off. So that could have been a spray paint thing, or I'm not really sure. So this is going to be all sanded, so it's going to be like down to the bare plastic, and then that's going to be all repainted. Taillights I'm just going to leave. The spoiler, somebody, and you'll know who I'm talking about if you're watching, but the matte black I'm going to keep because that's kind of just a style I like. I'm going to do something special for the hood, but that's going to be a secret until the project is near finished. It's just, there's going to be something on the hood. Don't worry, it's not like a Subaru inlet. It's not like that kind of rice or crap. It's a paint job, but this is going to be a special paint job. So, yeah, you guys can look forward to that. Things I've already done is like the mirror. This mirror was broken. It like completely torn off, so I fixed that. We got that when I fixed the one on the other side of the gallant back there. So there's that, and that's pretty much the biggest issues, is the valve, the rotors, and the paint, and like the body work. That's pretty much it from keeping it looking like its normal self. Oh yeah, the sunroof is also broken, so that's gonna have to be changed. I'll take you guys in the interior here. I can't really get onto the other side right now because there's like snow piled up on that side. So as far as the interior goes, I've already changed the wheel, and don't worry, this isn't like riced up and whatever. The wheel is securely on. I like this wheel because it's very nice, it's grippy, it's a good size, and I like the red trim of it. And so that's gonna be like what I'm gonna get for racing seats, because like these sidewalls, man, are just, it's barely nothing. So and you can kind of see what I'm talking about now. If you look at this headrest right here and the roof, there's like barely any room there. So even just standing on this side, you know, I've got like this is me sitting normal right here. So I have like, you know, not that much space above my head. So having a bar, like if we cut some of this out, just having a bar going all the way down and then probably coming in right here or over there, you get the picture. So just coming up like right here over, and then kind of get an idea of a roll cage being back here, just like having a bar coming right here, because the thing I was talking about earlier, the harnesses, they bolt up to like right here on the car, and then they come down and then back behind the seat. So I figured if we're gonna put a roll cage in, we might as well just skip that, or not skip it, but just like not do it until we decide to put a roll cage in and stuff like that, because who's gonna want to sit with that much leg space? I mean, my brother's like a giant, so he's not gonna want to sit back there. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. As far as like styling in the interior, I've got pedals down there, and then like with this trim here, I think it's pretty clean in here. I actually went in to like clean everything up, and it wasn't that dirty. So like with this right here, this is just, I'm gonna put some like carbon fiber tape on it, and call me a racer, whatever. I don't think it's gonna look that bad. I'm not like doing a carbon fiber hood thing with duct tape. I did see a guy that did that. That was funny. But it didn't look that bad either, but I'm not gonna do stuff like that. The trim in here is gonna be pretty much the same, no changing the dash for now. My brother likes a lot of LED electronic stuff, so we might agree to like change the LEDs like in the dash or something later, but for now that's kind of the overall scheme of it. Yeah. So yeah. So just to recap, first is gonna be the valves in here. So the valves and the engine stuff is gonna be done. Then the headlights and like some body work. And then, you know, doing some of this stuff over here. And then we'll get to like brake rotors and stuff like that. Like, there's the rotors for you guys. Like that rust in there, it's just terrible. And yeah. So I know talking before, saying that the car, the grand total, it was like $1,800 for everything. That's not including paint, and like I gotta get a new horn for it, so I forgot to add that in. So just to recap, the total price that I've gotten so far for all the extra stuff is $1,800 something, and that's not including the paint job, future tires, stuff like that. A horn, I forgot to put a horn on the list. So a new horn, and just little things like that are gonna just be extra. So I'm sure the final build cost will be about $3,000 to like $3,500 is what I'm thinking. Kind of just depends on the paint job, really. So that's what's gonna go on for the Eclipse. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you look forward. I hope yours look. Okay. So that's the final outcome of the Solar Eclipse project. I hope you guys are looking forward to it just as much as I am. I've been waiting like 3 years for this. I'm really excited to get started on it. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you around. Peace.